Hello there. Just setting up the stream, making sure that everything is working as intended. All right, checking sound levels. Everything seems to be working. Yep, brilliant. Okay. There we go. Okay, hello. Let's get started here. Let us get started with the live stream. There we go, everybody. Welcome to today's live stream. We'll be flying the Citation X by FlightFX. So we're going to be taking the aircraft for another spin here. Today we are going to be taking off from Ankara, I believe. All right, we're going to be taking off from Ankara in Turkey, and we are going to be landing into Istanbul in Turkey. So it's a domestic flight today, and we're going to be flying a very nice livery that I found on flightsim.to. Really cool. So that's going to be fun. That is going to be fun for us. So first things first, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick look around our aircraft. And once that's done, we'll be able to... Okay, just give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second. While I sort out the nav bar, we're gonna have a little bit of issues with the nav bar here. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on today. Warning there. Okay, wanna restore that. Okay, I'm having a little bit of an issue with the nav bar at the moment for some reason. Yeah, at least we're able to view the basic information up there on the top. We can see our destination and our departure. So that'll do for now. That will do for now, okay? All right. Great. Okay. So without further delay, let's go ahead and take a look around our aircraft here. Let's do that look around in a cinematic mode today, shall we? Switching right there. There you go. Beautiful aircraft. The Cessna Citation X by FlightFX. We've got all the chocks, the pitot tube covers, and the engine covers there. Very, very nice. This is a very beautiful business jet, and it's a pretty thing to look at. All right, that being said, if once that's done, let's go ahead and get rid of the chocks and all that stuff. Obviously, we can do this from the tablet, which I really, really like. But since all of these are very accessible to us, well, let's just go ahead and do that. Can open up the door here. We'll leave it open. There we go. Lovely sound. That being said, we are in the cockpit, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we're in cold and dark, very, very clearly. Let's now go ahead and get our batteries and external power and all that started up. First things first, we'll go to the tablet. We'll do this first bit in a little bit of a cinematic theme here. Let's see how that goes. Let's reset that. We should go to ground services. We will get our ground power connected there. There we go. That is all good. Come to weights. We'll import this from SimBrief. We're going to apply that, and that's done. Great. We're going to come over to the panel right here, and we're going to start it up. Battery 1, battery 2, standby power, external power on, emergency lights armed, avionics up and running, just like that. Very, very nice. Okay, now that we've got our aircraft up and, well, basically energized here, let's see what else we can do around here. Should we go ahead and turn on our APU, or should we go ahead, since we're running on ground power, we might as well do our FMC setup here, right? So we can go directly to our FMC here, set some things up, or we can go and do the APU, whichever we really feel like doing, actually. In terms of lights, let's make sure that all our lights are in the right place. If we come down here, sorry, that's my bad. If we come down here, nav lights need to go on there. Passenger safety, we'll put this in the middle position for the time being. Recognition lights, I'm going to leave that out of the picture for the time being as well. Windshield heats, we can turn them on. So I'm going to do that right there. There you go. Brilliant. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at the FMC now. Right. Position initialization there. Loading GPS position right there. Okay, while that's happening, we're going to align the nav just like that. Let's go to our flight plan. Let's go to nav here, go to SimBrief, flight plan recall. There we go. We've got our flight plan for the day. Okay, we've got all of that done. Departure is... Okay, departure for today is going to be Yaver 1T. Okay, that's interesting. Runway 03 left. Let's do runway 03 left. Okay, that is correct. Right there. Activate. Go back to departure. Okay, let's just go back to nav there. Have departure done. Let's go to takeoff. All right. We need our wind here today. Let's just make sure that we're on live weather. Not entirely sure if we are. Ah, look at that. We're not on live weather. I had a feeling we're not on live weather. Look at this. That is more like the weather at the moment. That is more like the weather at the moment. You know what? For today's exercise, let's just fly with the weather that we had before. Let's just do that, shall we? Now that we've gotten started, let's just keep it that way. So this is, I believe, scattered clouds. Let's go outside. No. Not scattered clouds. Overcast? I think we were running with overcast, or we were running with high level clouds. No. Broken clouds. Yeah, we were running with broken clouds, if I'm not mistaken. I can't really remember. I cannot remember correctly. Okay. But anyway, that's fine. That is fine. Okay, so we'll leave it like this for today's flight, and we'll continue on with our FMC. Okay, so for wind, what is our wind? You can take it from here. What is the wind? 270, 12, which is fairly very high. Let's just put in the real wind for the day. Let's put that in, shall we? Real wind is 08015, so we'll do that here. 08015. Okay, we're gonna use that. Okay, we'll do the same here. Wind in, going to the next page. Got all of that done. Take off weight, all of that. That's all correct. Let's do that. Okay, next page. V speeds are available to us. Let's go towards climb. Cruising altitude for the day. What is our cruising altitude for the day? Let's have a look. Cruising altitude is 28,000 feet today, actually. So I'm just gonna try and put that in here. Okay, that's fine. Let's go to cruise, 28,000. Good. Let's go towards our descend. Yeah, we don't need to do anything here. Let's go towards our landing. In terms of our landing data, what do we have? In terms of our landing data, we've got 060/18 knots. Okay, temperature is supposed to be 29. Obviously, we'll update this as we come into land if there are any changes. That is fine, and that is fine. Landing data. Runway, that is fine. V approach. Okay, let's just go back to our flight plan here. Let's go to nav. Let's go to arrival. Now, for today's landing, hello there, mate. How are you doing, Mr. I don't know how to say that, but QW. I'm gonna call you QW. How you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. Hello, hello, hello. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. All right. So for our arrival into Istanbul, we're going to be using runway 35 right. which is right here. And we're going to be using the ILS. I'm pretty sure we're using the ILS Z, or we can also use, there's two of them. Well, we can just use ILS Z there. We're going to be using AirSec, if I can find that arrival. Transition today is Erson, but I can't find it. Let me go to the arrival first. Star, please. There we go. Let's have a look. Let's use this one right here. Okay. And now, wow, that is okay. Yep, that is more like it. No transition today. We're going to activate it right there. And there's our flight plan for the day. That sounds good. Let me go through it to make sure we don't have any discontinuities. And yes, we do, as expected. We're going to delete that discontinuity right there. From SADC to that. And I think our flight plan is okay. But there's only one real way to ensure that our flight plan is okay. And that is to take a look at it in... this view right here, right? We gotta go through our flight plan to make sure that it's actually okay. Now I'm not sure if we can actually do that. So let's have a look. I don't think we can go through our flight plan. Or if there is a way, I'm not sure how to do it. I'm not sure how to do that. Wait, there is a place where we can change the mode. I know there's a place where we can change the mode. I just don't know where it is now. I just don't know where it is. Where is the place? Okay, no idea. I have no idea, but we can have a look at this, which is pretty cool. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. Yep, I think our flight plan is okay though. Okay, so I'm going to assume it is, and we're going to go towards that for takeoff, and there we go. All right, so we got our flight plan ready. Let's move on from there. All right, now let's go to our performance here. Performance initialization, there we go. Next page. Okay, we're going to leave this exactly the way it is. Transition altitude is not supposed to be 18. I don't think it is. You know what? We'll use what is the transition altitude? I have no idea what it is. Let me have a look. Let me have a look. Transition altitude for general Turkey area. What is it? It is at least 4,000 feet, right? So let me see. Ankara transition. Let's have a look. Okay, out of Ankara, the transition altitude is actually 10,000 feet, not 18,000. So let's go ahead and adjust that. Perfect. That is all fine. Speed and altitude limits are fine. Initial cruising altitude, we're actually going to go straight up towards 33. No, 28. 28. Sorry, my bad. So that's fine. Let's go ahead. Next page. Let's sync the data from our EFP there. Confirm that. Just like that. We've got that is in order. That is all in order. All of this is in order. Confirm that. Moving on. Climb. That's fine. Cruise. Excuse me. That's fine. Let's look at our landing data here. That is also fine. That is fine. Flaps 35 for landing. Landing data here looking okay. Approach speed 130, 125. And just like that, we're done. Okay, so we're done with our FMC setup here. And that should take us from Ankara to Istanbul fairly easily. Okay, very, very good. Okay, that was easy. Now let's go ahead and turn on our APU and all that good stuff. So we'll do that right away. Okay, we'll do that right away. There's a little glitch over there, but not a big deal. Okay, time to start up our APU. Master on there. Leave generator on. Bleed air to on. And we can get APU started. Nice. While that is getting done there, let's go ahead and set up our FMC here. For today, we're going to be using 230 for the auto throttle. Yeah, I'm going to leave it exactly the way it is, really. Okay. I shall set the altitude. We're going to go directly towards 28,000. Let's set that up. We'll sync the heading once again after we line up, hopefully, if I don't forget. I can arm the auto throttle if I want to. Not really, not yet. What else can I do? What else can I do? There is a takeoff button here that we can arm once we finish. Okay, APU is now running and we've got that all good. That means that we are ready to start up our engines. Starting our engines, very, very easy here. We're just going to put that light up there. Okay, once that is done, I'm going to turn on all our lights here, really. Okay, looking good. Okay, once that is done, let's go ahead and start up our engines now, yeah? We need to start up our engines. Starting engine number 2 and 2 levels. Ooh, something wrong there. There's definitely something wrong there. Yep, something is not right there. So we've got something that isn't right. What is going on with the APU? Don't we have bleed air on? Got that running, we got that running, so that's fine. Something isn't right then. Let's try that again. Okay, N2 coming up to 10%. It should work. Oh, there we go. That worked. That has worked. Okay, great. Once this stabilizes, we can go ahead and start our left engine. There we go. Our right engine is running. We need to close the door up, don't we? So let's do that. Right here, ground services. We don't need the ground power anymore. We don't need that. We don't need that. I can go away. There we go. Perfect. Okay, we'll start up our left-hand engine right now. Excellent. Excellent. We are in. We're in, ladies and gentlemen. We are in. There we go. We are in. Okay. So we got everything stabilized. All of that is looking good. We can cut off bleed air. We can cut. Let's make sure that the generators are actually on here. Yes, they are. Sorry, my bad. What's going on? Oh, sorry. Sorry. Okay, generators are on there, and we can turn off that right there. We can turn that off right there. And we can also turn off our master power there. Okay, let's turn on our pitot heats. Excellent. What else do we need? Turn this on for a second there. We don't really need it, to be honest. But I'm just going to turn that off. We can put our TCAS to TARA if we wanted to. Should we do that? Let's do that. There we go. That's cool. Whoa, we've got heading fail there. What is going on? Something has happened. I think something has happened with our IRS there, huh? Whoa. Let's load that. There we go. That solved the issue. Because I switched off the avionics probably, I guess. But anyway, that's sorted right there. Good. Good. We've got that set up. We've got everything that we need to. Let's drop our flaps. So that's something we need to do here. Let's try that. Can we see the flaps here? Yes, we can. Let's drop them flaps, shall we? Okay, flaps is supposed to be 15 for takeoff. We got flaps 15 for takeoff. I think it's supposed to be 15. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Performance, takeoff data, next page, flaps 15, correct. Okay, brilliant. Excellent. So we got our flaps set up. We've got everything that we need pretty much set up and we're ready to go. Okay, we're ready to go. We can press that takeoff button right there. That'll get everything in the right mode for us to be able to take off. We can pre-arm the nav, VNav stuff, and the auto throttle once we line up with the runway. But that being said, we're ready to get on out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I cannot read that name, but that is cool. Thank you very much for the follow. Questions? Is that how you say that? Questions? I have no idea. Oh, wait. It says Heinz at the back, doesn't it? Anyway, thank you, Mr. Heinz, I suppose. But anyway, thanks. Thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it very much, man. I'm having a hard time reading that for some reason today. But yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it once again. Thank you for the follow. I hope you're having a good time. Hope you're having a good time. About the Discord, I'm still setting up my Discord. I don't know why I can't find my way around it properly, but once my Discord is fully up and running, yeah, sure, man. I shall, I don't mind linking up. But yeah, thank you very much. All right, with all of that done here, let's go ahead and continue on with our taxi. And right before we do, let's just take a quick look in the cabin. There's this side, and if we look at the cabin, we've got our passengers all seated up nice and easy there. Beautiful looking cabin right here. Okay. So yeah, let's just go in and get this out of the way. Let's release the parking brake. Got a parking brake release there. And we're rolling. We try and turn this slightly here. Open up the throttle. There we go. I forget just how I'm supposed to taxi out towards our takeoff runway here today, but for that we can use a little nav map. And while we're doing that, we can also take a look at today's route here. So today's route is going to be from Ankara right here. It's just a little overview, and then we're going to fly into Istanbul airport right here. Okay, nothing too complicated, but our arrival procedure, as you can see, is a little bit interesting. We're going to fly out over the water and then come back in. So yeah, just a quick overview there, and I'm going to use this as a guide to for today's taxi. Cool. Yeah, I think we pressed that takeoff button too soon, didn't we? So we go in here. There we go. Okay, I think we're okay now. Yep. I had my control in the wrong position there for the speed brakes. My bad. Okay. Brilliant. Let's use this view here to taxi. The ground handling is a little bit funny, like I mentioned in the first look video right there, or on the stream. It's a little bit funny, but nothing too terrible. It's a little funny, that's all, but nothing too terrible. But that I just think is because of the sim. Apart from that, this is looking good. Alrighty. Okay, now we're just pretty much just taxiing on towards the end of runway 3 left, where we can take off from. And as you can see, this jet is incredibly easy to get started up from cold and dark. Nothing too complicated at all. Nothing too complicated at all. So yeah, as I was saying in my earlier videos there, this is a jet that I can 100% wholeheartedly recommend for Microsoft Flight Sim users, because there is pretty much nothing else like it. It is, in my opinion, the best business jet that I've flown in Microsoft Flight Sim. Not that I've flown a lot of these, but yes. Okay, so we've got a no takeoff here, and I wonder why that is. Got a no takeoff here. That should not be happening for us. I don't get it. I don't see why it says no takeoff. We're gonna have to deal with that. We're gonna have to deal with that, ladies and gentlemen. Something isn't right with our setup, that the aircraft says we cannot take off. We cannot take off. So I don't know what it is, but we'll have to take a look at that. We'll have to take a look at that. Whoa. Did we disconnect external power? That'd be so funny if we didn't. Of course we did. So I don't know what the problem is. Okay. Something isn't right here. Something isn't right here. Off, that's off. Everything is off, so I don't see what the problem is. We're gonna have to look at it. It says no takeoff. Huh. I'm thoroughly confused why it's saying no takeoff here. Oh, I know why. Never mind. I know why. Figured it out. It's just the stabilizer. We haven't set our stabilizer there. We can do that right now. Set our trim. I'm setting it the wrong way. Okay, our trim is right here. Trim is right here, and there we go. Now we're ready to go. Now we're ready to go. Okay. We're going to put our parking brake on here and hold short of this particular runway here. This is runway 303R. We could cross it though, right? Let's cross it. Let's cross it. No, you know what? I'm just going to hold here for a second. There we go. Let's hold here for a second. Oh, we forgot to turn on our taxi light. Doesn't matter. We're going to turn on our landing light there. All other lights are on. Passenger signs are on. Pitot heats, the windshield heats on, pack valve, we don't need to worry about this. We can go ahead and arm auto throttle. Oh no, wait, hold on. Hold on a second. We don't need to do this just yet. We can put this to nav and we can put this to VNav. So we can leave that on the way it is there. That's fine. I don't see a problem with any of that. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and release our parking brake. Open it up slightly. Get our heading there to match, but we'll do that once again once we line up. Give it a bit more power here. Okay, anybody on the runway? Coming this way, coming that way? Nothing. Okay, clear to cross the runway. Runway is up ahead here. Gonna go in and turn now. There we go. Technically, we're still on the taxiway. The runway is up there, so we're just gonna go in there before we press our toga. Everything else looking good. We're ready for takeoff. Perfect. We'll take off today using the cinematic mode. So let's go ahead and do that. Give it a bit more power. Okay. We'll have this view ready after we take off. Let's go in. Brilliant. Rotate. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and put our flaps up slightly there. And we are out of Ankara. Okay, we are out of Ankara. And yeah, there we go. Looking good. Flaps are basically, we have our slats still out. The flaps have gone up completely. And yeah, let's see what the VNav actually does. How about that? Because I'm not entirely sure exactly what the VNav does. Let's see if it actually works properly this time, shall we? Because the last time I flew this, which was just yesterday, I believe, I used flight level change. Let's see what the VNav actually does in this aircraft, if it does anything at all. For now, we're okay. So in case it does something funny, we can always take control. For the time being, it seems to be doing its job, which is brilliant. So anything else we need to do here? No. Transition altitude was 10,000, right? I believe it was 10,000. Yeah, I believe it was 10,000. 10,000 feet coming up anyway, so we can go ahead and turn off our landing lights there. Passenger signs can come off, or safety. Don't know exactly how these things work, but yep. That's fine. Still going at this particular speed here. Bring that slat up there. Hopefully that increases our speed. Okay. Okay, back in here into the cockpit there. I think the VNav is doing its job, kind of. We've got an altitude restriction or something of that nature right here, because it is showing us 12,000 here. So I think it's doing its job, isn't it? It might be. We'll find out. We'll find out. We shall find out, ladies and gentlemen. We shall find out. Let's tune our heading down here one more time. Yeah. Don't see an issue with anything else. 12,000 below. There you go. We've got an altitude restriction right there at AC 264. There we go. That makes sense. Okay, so VNav is working. Hold on a minute. Why is this giving us... Oh, it's gone to cruise speed while we are waiting for the altitude restriction. It's actually gone to the cruise speed there. Transition altitude was passed a while ago. We're still on standard though, so it doesn't really matter, does it? If we change it, put it back to standard, we're already on standard because we're not using live weather, right? So we're good. We're good for the time being. That is fantastic. Let's take another look. All right, very cool. Very, very cool. Nice. Okay, so what's going on here? Apparently we're back to climb speed now, which is brilliant. We're back on our climb past that altitude restriction. We've got a couple of restrictions here as well, but we'll be fine with our 28,000, and then we got to descend so quickly right there to, okay, that is not too bad at all. Let's increase the range on that, so we have a better understanding of where we're going and what's happening. Brilliant. So there we go. We are already pretty much there, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty much there. If we take a look at our little nav map, we'll see that this flight is really short. Yeah, it's really short. So let me pop up little nav map there for you guys. Look at that. Look at that. We'll be there in no time. Our top of descent is right here. Well, yeah, pretty much somewhere here. We'll be there in no time. Nice, short and sweet flight there. Very nice. VNav is doing its job this time. Look at that. It's automatically doing that. We didn't select flight level change. It's automatically managing it for us. That is exactly what we want. Right, so VNav does work. At least in this flight, it appears to be working, which is brilliant. In the last flight, I wasn't really sure whether it was or not, but just had to give it a little bit of time. It does work. Great. Great. Look at that. What a gorgeous aircraft this thing is, huh? It really is a very, very nice business jet. Really simple to get started, really simple to fly. It might look a little complicated, but it really isn't. And in my opinion, like I was saying in the last flight, it has a perfect blend of traditional and modern. And I love these CRT displays. I love these old-fashioned analog dials here. Love that it's like the right amount of what is that? Oh, we're reaching our next waypoint. It's the right amount of modernization of the cockpit, at least according to my taste, right? So there's a very nice marriage of both worlds, in my opinion. And these are the aircrafts that are most fun to fly. So yeah, really cool. Really, really cool. I definitely have to perform a night flight with this aircraft as well, because so far the all my flights on this, and the videos and everything have been during the day. So I need to see how this thing looks at night too. I feel like it would be lots of fun to fly at night. I'm gonna fly in America during nighttime. We're gonna fly between two regional airports or something like that, and we'll see how we get along. Right? We'll see how we get along during that particular flight. So yeah, nighttime flight in an American regional airport. Leave any suggestions you feel like. Let's quickly grab ourselves something to drink and something to eat, shall we? Really cool. Really cool. Okay, let's get back into the cockpit here. We'll shut... we can turn on the lights. Not that we really need them, but, you know, we'll shut that door there. Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, what do we have? We've got the altitude horn going off. That means we're reaching 28,000 feet. We're about to switch to cruise speed. There we go. Cruise speed right there. It's so predictable, this aircraft, in a good way, not in a bad way, in a very good way. I think it's really cool. For $30, this is a very good aircraft. Brilliant. Okay. So, where is our top of descent? I have no idea where our top of descent is. Somewhere there, right? Yep, it's somewhere here. And if we come and take a look at our FMC here for a second. If we go to descent, descent is here. There we go. If we go to flight plan, we'll see that descent. 30,000 below. We're supposed to start descending at Urson? No way. No way. No way we're descending at Urson. Yeah, we are in descent. So top of descent should be coming up right about now. Literally. How crazy is that? That is a quick flight, man. This aircraft is really quick. It really is. It is very quick. And it is a short flight anyway. But yeah, that is really, really cool. I like that. My apologies that we're not having any flight metrics and data on the nav bar today. There's a slight little issue that I'm having with the overlay. The connection to the simulator is being perceived by my antivirus software as being some sort of malicious thing. So I'm going to have to reinstall it and then it should be back to normal. But for today's flight, at least we're able to see the destination and departure. Top of descent coming up, ladies and gentlemen, right about there. Not too far at all. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. There we go. There's top of descent coming up right about there. Very, very nice. Very nice. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. That is my mistake there. But yeah, let's take a look. How about that? Okay, top of descent coming up right about here, like I mentioned. So we need to put our altitude down towards our final altitude that we want to descend down to. Let's have a look at what altitude that is. We haven't tuned the nav. We need to tune the nav radio, don't we? We'll do that in a bit. We need to do that, we really do. Okay, so our final descent altitude here is given as 1960. We could go down towards 4,000. Okay, let's just go towards 1960. How about that? So let's do that right here. Altitude down to 1960. We'll put that down at, oh god, why is it so finicky? 1960 please. 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so we'll put it at 90. We'll keep it at, okay, we'll leave it at 1900 for the time being there. We need to tune our nav radios. Obviously we can do that here or here. We need to set up our ILS. Apparently this is the one that's tuned in. I'm not sure how correct that is. So let me go ahead and double check what the frequency for the ILS is. into 35 right in Istanbul. So let's go ahead and have a look at that. The frequency is 109.55. Or the identifier is India Uniform Charlie Echo. So let's put that in, shall we? IUCE. Let us put that in here. Identifier IUCE. We'll put that in there. Oh, this used to work. This used to work. Now it doesn't. That's so fascinating. I thought I could directly do that. Oh, okay. Fine. We'll tune the frequency manually there. Not a problem. Not a problem. ILS approach into 35 right. It is 109.55, right? Is that what I said? 109.55? Yeah, that should be the one. 109.55 should be the one, yeah. Okay, let's do 109.55. Have we begun descending? Okay, it's coming up. 109.55. Let's put that in. 109.55. Oh, good lord. 109.55. We'll put that in there. There we go. That is set. 109.55 is set. Okay. So that should help us catch the ILS correctly. We'll see what happens. If worst case, we'll just fly it in manually. Not a big deal. But we've got that tuned up now. That's good. Top of descent coming up. We should be able to automatically begin our descent with VNAV engaged. So let's see how that goes. Got our altitude restriction, initial one at 25,000 for some reason. Let's take a look at our flight plan there. Below 25,000. Okay, so we've already given it the go ahead to go down to 1900. So there we go. We've got descent working just as it should, and we can see that vertical profile right there. That is exactly what I want to see. Brilliant. There we go, dropping speed towards our descent speed there. Everything working exactly as it should. Let's take a look from the cabin. Okie dokie. Coming back into the cockpit there. Very, very cool. Everything working as it should. Let's prepare ourselves for landing. Let's make sure that all our information is actually correctly input here. Let's go towards our descent. Do we have anything here in descent that we need to? No, everything here is fine. Landing data. Let's see. Wind. We're going to leave it exactly the way it is. Not gonna mess with any of this. I think we're okay. Even if we're not, it's fine. We're just flying with standard weather at the moment. So yeah, coming back to performance here, landing data. Let's go towards our next page. Dry, yes, that's correct. Density, okay. Where is the transition altitude for the landing part? I don't see it. I think it's in descent here, isn't it? Huh, it's not even here. Huh? Okay, interesting. Interesting. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Landing weight is there. That is there. Let's go to the next page. 125, 120. Obviously, we have it on automatic. We're letting the auto throttle follow the FMS systems at the moment, so it should be okay. It should take care of this automatically. But if it doesn't, we can always switch to manual right here. yeah, using this we can switch to manual and we can input our V approach speed of 125, 5 knots above the reference speed. So yeah, we are looking very good, nothing much to do. Compared to flying an airliner, there is very little to do in this aircraft. It's very nice and easy. Very gentle flyer. It's also fun to hand fly this thing too. So let's zoom out of everything. Looking good on the vertical profile there. Yeah, we're looking fine there. Okay, so there is an altitude restriction, as I mentioned. It's supposed to be below 16,000 now. Yeah, there we go. Good, very good. Lovely layer of clouds. Real nice. I need to fix that view, don't I? That glass acting up a little, so let me just fix that view right here. Okay, let's I mean, that pretty much does it, doesn't it? There we go. Let's just fix that view. There we go. Done. Okay, anything else we need to do here? Absolutely not. Everything is looking exactly how it should. This autopilot is making our job very, very easy. Obviously, it does not have auto land as far as I know. I don't think it does. So we're going to have to manually land it, which is all the fun anyway. Just tune in our heading one more time. Although it's a little late for that, but still. Just tune it into the next one anyway. Just like that. Above 12,000, below 14,000 at FM 444, that is right here. So we will be descending. Below 16,000 feet right here. I hope we make that. We will be making that because it's fairly easy to manage this aircraft, if I'm being honest. So, you know, not that big of a deal. Autopilot should have no issues. Should have no issues. There's nothing to do here on the tablet. We can put that away. Tablet's only on one side, yeah? Yeah. I feel like that's better. Feel like that's better. Good. Very nice texturing, huh? Texture work is good. Look at that. Some good stuff. Let's take a look at the dashboard there. Look at that. Very good textures. Yep, that's kind of ridiculous that we can zoom in this much. That is some crazy level of texturing, huh? Yep, that is pretty cool. This fan here, which I often find very, very amusing to look at. Very nice. Yeah, it really does have good details. If we come down to the cabin here, look at that. Even the windows, look at how well done that is. That is good. Obviously, for a smaller aircraft like a business jet or a corporate jet such as this, or even a regional jet, you're able to go into much more detail with the cabin and texturing because it's unlikely to affect the performance as much as a larger airline, which obviously has more stuff going on. But still, this is some good work right there. Look at that. It's good stuff. Very good stuff. Very good textures. Animated passengers, which is pretty cool. Don't have to rely on anything else to make that happen. Okay. For the time being, we're going to hold that altitude. it seems, but we should be descending soon, and yes we are. There we go. 12,000 is what the new target is, and let's see if it makes that. You know what, that's interesting. Let's see if it actually makes this. Okay, let's see if it actually is able to make this 12,000 correctly. Okay, so it's not exactly gonna make the 12,000 per se, but yeah, it didn't even make below 14,000. So that's interesting. Close, but not quite, right? So yeah, it's kind of missing that altitude restriction right there. Let's see. And now it should switch towards 10,000 feet. So let's see how that goes. What is this? Something has just popped up right there. I don't know what that is. Yeah, 10,000 there, but I don't know what that is. Something just popped up right there, huh? Appears to, that's technically the color in which the missed approach is shown, but I don't know why it is showing us that path. Anyway, not gonna worry about it too much here. We need to descend though. Why aren't we doing that? Why aren't we descending? Yeah, we should descend. I don't know why it's not doing that. Yeah, okay, it's trying to increase its speed first, which it really shouldn't. That is something that's wrong with, I believe that's a little bit of a thing. So if you're holding an altitude restriction, it switches back to cruise speed, and it will not go back down till that's done. So that is kind of weird. That is definitely kind of weird. We should be dropping altitude down to 10,000 feet here. Anyway, I'm just going to give it a bit more time. Wait for us to cross this waypoint before I intervene if I need to. That is, I don't think I need to. But we're flying on the edge of overspeed there. It's a little too much. It's not exactly a comfortable place to be flying in. Our slats are up. Speed brake is up. Everything is up. But yeah, we shouldn't be flying there right now. Let's see how the autopilot takes care of it. Let's see. Okay, it should begin descending now. If it doesn't, I'm a little lost. If it does not do that. It's not doing that. It is not doing that. I think we're gonna have to, let's go to flight level change. Let's go. Let's bring that straight down. Yep, while that's happening, let's take a quick look here as we burst through the clouds. Very nice. Once again, sorry about that. That is entirely my mistake there. Messing around with the scenes there. Okay, we're looking good. We're looking pretty good. Okay, returning to the cockpit, I'm afraid we're having a little bit of a problem here. Let's see. So I don't know why our aircraft decided to do that one little bit, where it refused to descend after that waypoint. I'm not sure, but you know, still working out the kinks here. Or rather, exactly how this aircraft functions, I'm not too sure. Okay, so now it's gone to the altitude hold. VNAV is still on though. So what is it gonna do now is the question. We're at 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead and turn on our landing lights. All of the lights are pretty much on here. Passenger signs, let's have a look. So this is safety. And this is seatbelt lights. I'm just gonna leave that on. Okay. We are supposed to descend. Let's see, what is the next restriction? Flight level 10,000 at FM 434. It's not even a restriction. Okay, we can leave it for now. Let's see if VNAV automatically kicks in at the right time. If it does, we don't have much to do. Except let it do its thing. Right? There we go. I'd like to take this moment to thank two of my latest subscribers on YouTube as well. Jared and Arvid. Arvid and Jared, thank you very much for the subscriptions. Appreciate it, mate. I appreciate it. Okay, let's go ahead and change the range up here. Let's zoom out on that. There we go, that's good. No, zoom in on that, my bad. We'll keep it here and we'll keep this one here. Wait, it jumps from 12.5 directly to 5. Doesn't matter. Brilliant. Let's see what's going on now. Okay, still some way here. It's supposed to be at 10,000 here. How far away are we from landing? Let's take a look at little nav map. Okay, so yeah, we still have some distance to make towards the airport, so being 10,000 feet here is not really that much of an issue. Yeah, this aircraft can slow down fairly quickly, it can descend fairly quickly. Not a problem. There we go. Almost there. We're already right outside of Istanbul. And we're going to turn around there and in we go towards Istanbul airport. We're going to fly over the old airport somewhere here, if I'm not mistaken. At Ataturk. So yeah. Anyway, I think everything is going according to plan for the time being. Very nice. We do have a crosswind at the moment, 15 knots, 75 degrees. Okay, we should probably put that into our landing data. It's okay. We're just gonna leave it. There you go. You got your next stop of descent coming up. So yeah, let's see what the VNav does. Flight plan speed at the moment. Okay. Let's see what happens. Okay, I'm expecting it to catch. I'll get rid of traffic here. I'm expecting it to... There we go. Okay, it's working. There you go. It's going to descend now as we reach top of descent. Go down towards wherever the next restriction is. After 10,000, it should be below 6,000 and above 5,000. So it's going to take care of that. So probably go down towards 5,000 feet. There we go. 5,000 feet coming up for our descent. Looking good. Looking good, and at the right time we can go ahead and turn on our approach mode when we're ready. Good. Okay, Rick, thank you so much for the subscription, Rick. Appreciate it. Thank you very much for the sub. Okay, let's just go into the cockpit, see what exactly our aircraft is doing here. Okay, it's decided to hold its ground at 10,000. Okay, this is what I don't understand. Why does it do that? Why is it doing that? It's decided to hold its ground at 10,000. That is fascinating. Let's see what it does as we reach this particular waypoint, and then let me see if it goes down or not. Because it should, right? But it's decided to hold it right at 10,000. Okay. Not too worried. Apparently it's descending, but it's not. We're holding still, so I don't know what this is about. Don't know what this is about. According to this, we're slightly above. According to this, we're doing... So yeah, there's something funny about VNav. Or it's just that I'm not getting exactly how it works. There's definitely something funny about the way how VNav works. Maybe I'm just not getting it. Maybe I'm just not getting it. But yeah, according to this, we are perfectly fine. According to this, we're slightly above. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what happens when we reach this waypoint in 1.5 nautical miles, and we'll see if it starts descending, which it should. Okay, we can see the ground there beneath us. Seeing some land there. Let's see what happens. Okay, there we go. Coming up on that waypoint, we should begin descending now. Come on. Okay, no, we're not descending. We are not descending here at all for some reason, and I'm gonna give it a flight level change now so that it goes down. Okay, so let it go down there. Let it go down right there. Oh, I think I know why. No, it's still supposed to go below 6,000 and it didn't do that. So yeah, we had to incorporate our flight level change there to make this happen. Interesting, but anyway. It's either I don't understand exactly how this VNav works, or it's just not modeled that well. Thrust reverse is apparently armed. Okay. That's good. That it's available to us. Okay, let me have a look at the speed. 210 knot, okay. And then we're gonna reduce speed there. We can put down our flaps at some point. For now, we're good. For now, we are doing well. Okay. That's fascinating. Look at that. It says the altitude according to CMD here is supposed to be 28,000 feet at this. That doesn't make any sense. I have no idea. Je ne comprends pas. But yes. Okay, let's see what it does for this. What is it doing for this? 5,000 feet. Is it going to go down towards 5,000 feet, mate, by itself? No, it's not. It is not doing that at the moment. It's not doing that at the moment. Is it? What is it waiting for? What is it waiting for? Okay, so it does have 9.8 nautical miles, and I think it's doing this right now. It seems when there is a below and an above altitude restriction, I think the VNav has issues dealing with it. If there's both an above and a below restriction, it appears that the VNav has an issue with dealing with such restrictions. Because if it's just a single restriction, VNav seems to be working just fine. So yeah, at first glance, my initial impression is that if there is an above and a below constraint at a waypoint, VNav seems to get confused. But if it's just one constraint either above or below, VNav seems to be doing fine. That is my prognosis at this point. My premature prognosis. Is prognosis the right word to use there? Or is it diagnosis? I don't know. Whatever. You get my point. You get my point. Haven't used them fancy words in a while. Okay, let's... what is this? There's a little sticker there. I like such attention to detail. It brings the whole thing to life. That is really, really cool that sticker is right there. Very nice. Anyway, enough about the stickers. Not yet time to drop the flaps. We could, if we wanted to, bring down the slats. We could, probably, but I'm just going to wait a little bit out before I drop my flaps here. 5,000 feet, it's doing its job at the moment. As you can tell, just a single altitude or no restriction really, and it's doing its job. Let's see what it does when we come to here. Let's see what it does there. I think it will follow it. I think it will follow it, but when there's two restrictions, both the below and above, it says, whoa, don't know what to do here. Okay, descent is working this time. We can actually drop our flaps here, so we can begin dropping our flaps more or less. Let's put down the slats first. That's happening right here. So that is the indicator for the slats. And I was not aware of this. I was expecting the slats to show up along with the flaps. So I remember making that mistake and flying with the slats extended well above when I should have had them retracted. So yeah, slats are indicated here, flaps are here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we can actually drop our flaps further now. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, coming down now. Can turn on our approach, come into land. Should be fairly straightforward here. We'll probably drop the flap one more right there. Before we drop the flaps any further, we're gonna have to... drop our gear. So we'll do that. Let's go ahead and drop our gear and call it, shall we? Okay, we'll turn on approach mode in advance there. Okay, localizer glide slope, flaps down to full, speed approach selected. There we go. We are now going to land, ladies and gentlemen, and yeah, let's do it. Let us do it. Glide slope and localizer right there. Speed correct right there. Everything is looking just fine. Let's turn on our taxi light. All other lights are on. We don't need to turn on the APU just yet. Everything else is looking good. And we are ready to land this. Okay, so without further delay, we'll go in and land. We'll go in and land. Let's see how that looks like when we come into land. Once I take manual control, we'll go into cinematic mode and, have a bit of fun there. But for now, glide slope is working. We have a crosswind. We do have a crosswind right there. Okay, ready to land. Okay, I'm gonna switch now and we're gonna go into land. Following the flight director at the moment. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome to Istanbul. Welcome to Istanbul. Okay, we're just going to stop here for a second. Okay. Let's put our flaps up. There we go. Put our landing lights off. Can turn on our APU. Turn that on. Okay, cool. Very, very cool. Let's turn off that. And welcome to Istanbul. If you ask me where I'm going, I have no idea. But here we are. Here we are. There it is. That's a main terminal area right there. And yep. Welcome. Let me figure out where to take our aircraft here. Unfortunately, today we don't have landing replay because I forgot to run sky dolly. But you know. That was a pretty cool landing. Wasn't too terrible at all. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to continue taxiing here. And we'll cross the runway once again, actually, funnily. So we'll continue and then we will make a crossing on the runway there. And we'll find ourselves in the GA parking stands somewhere over there. And we'll put our aircraft down somewhere. Nice and easy. All right. Nice and easy. Perfect. Hope you guys enjoyed that little flight there because that was quite fun. It was quite fun. Just forgot to get the landing replay. apart from the fact that we forgot to take the landing replay, that was a fairly cool flight, wasn't it? Yeah, I should have run sky dolly, but unfortunately forgot to do that. I forgot to do that. Anyway, not a problem. Not a problem. Actually, what should we do? Let's go outside. I need to get rid of these. How do you get rid of those strobe lights? I kind of... Yeah, there we go. That's better. Oh. It's kind of better, I guess. Yeah, I guess so. All right. Brilliant. We'll make the turn in the upcoming one. And then we'll find ourselves into a nice little parking. Then we'll call it for today's flight. I really wish we had the landing replay. My apologies about that. Completely skipped my mind to get sky dolly going. I was trying to incorporate more cinematic views into the video, as you guys probably noticed, but unfortunately that meant I forgot completely about getting our landing replay, and I need to really change the sensitivity of this nose wheel tiller because it's way too sensitive in Microsoft Flight. So look at that. That is not good. It's way too sensitive. I'm gonna have to change that, otherwise ground handling is not gonna look very professional. Okay, I'm gonna assume the runway is clear here. Well, it kind of isn't, but anyway. Oh, good lord. So yeah, a little bit of an issue there with the nose wheel steering. Let's have a look quickly. There's a takeoff there. Apart from that, it's pretty clear, so we're fine. Okay, moving on. Next runway. Is it clear? I think somebody is there. Somebody might be on their takeoff roll there. Yeah, I think someone's on their takeoff roll. It's okay. We're just gonna power through here and hopefully, yeah, he's not gonna reach us. It's fine. It is fine. There we go. We are in the parking area for general aviation. Look at how sensitive this thing is. This is too sensitive. I need to do something about this. I'll go take a look at some videos on how to make that happen, but there we go. Let's come in and park this thing, shall we? Let's come in and park this thing. We can leave it anywhere we want, pretty much. Yeah, we could leave it pretty much anywhere we want to. So let me just do that. Oh, I think we overshot that, didn't we? We most definitely did. Yeah, we did. Let's just continue on here towards another parking or something. Yeah, let's do that. I don't understand why it's like this. We could just turn around and park here. Not a big deal. Yeah, we could do that. We can turn around and park in there. Cool. But yeah. Come on. Let me just power up a little bit. get this thing going. Hope you guys enjoyed today's flight, by the way. Please do leave a like, consider subscribing, feel free to comment what you thought. Okay, we are definitely doing the wrong thing here, but that's okay. That is okay. We overshot our parking, so we're just gonna come in and park ourselves somewhere right there. Okay, just gonna ignore that, but that's okay. There we go. We shall park ourselves in here. There we go. We'll take this parking right here. Okay, let's go ahead and shut this down. We've got our APU running for the time being. Let's put our tablet up there. Let's connect external power. And we'll shut down the APU. There we go. Cool, cool, cool. Everything else seems in order. Can turn that off. All right, welcome to Istanbul, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I hope you guys really enjoyed that flight right there. If you did, please leave a like, consider subscribing, and I hope to catch you guys in the next live stream. Thank you once again to everybody who's chimed into the chat, said hello, and thank you for the subscriptions, the follows. I really appreciate it, and I really hope that you guys join in on the upcoming live streams. So with that, I am going to end today's live stream, and see you, take care, and have a good day. Bye bye.